Mbali Ntuli has just announced her candidacy for DA leadership, for the DA leadership position. For more on this now, we cross to our reporter Samkele Maseko. Thanks very much, Samkele, for joining us. So what did the lady have to say?
Well, Mbali Ntuli, the former DA youth chairperson, whom during that time was leading the DA youth and subsequently went in to become the DA's member of parliament, a member of the provincial legislature in KwaZulu-Natal in 2014, also ran against her uncle as a councillor at one point in KwaZulu-Natal. She's decided to step up and challenge John Steenhuisen for the position of DA leader. You'd remember that Mbali has been very vocal, particularly within the DA, particularly against the Federal Council FedEx chairperson, that would be Helen Zille, on some of her controversial comments on racial issues and many things that have been going on within the Democratic Alliance. I'm going to bring Mbali Ntuli on now and why she deemed fit to run for this position. Mbali, why did you deem it fit to run for this position of DA leader, Ms. Ntuli?
I think that we are in a space in our country and in the DA where we need a different way of doing politics. I think the time is ripe to have new energy and somebody who can embody the values of kindness and fairness and strength. I think that what I bring to the table is 12 years of being in the DA. I've built structures in this party at university levels, when I was a councillor, in townships, in rural areas where the DA had never existed before, as well as having run the campaigns for the entire province. And really in all of those things have brought immense results for the party. But more than that, I'm a South African who understands the realities of what it means to have family members who are still shackled by the oppression of apartheid and where it left them, but has also been fortunate enough to have some opportunities. And I think the DA needs somebody who can speak to all the different types of people in South Africa with authenticity and sincerity, because there's no way they're going to believe that we're a party that cares for them and will fight for them if they don't believe the leader.
Ms. Ntuli, the DA has been seeming particularly in limbo when it comes to the issue of policies, when it comes to the issues of redress, and their stance on when it comes to the emotive and topical issue of land in our country. Where do you want to steer the DA, particularly on a policy direction?
I'm very excited that we're having the policy conference and the Congress, because I think that us to reevaluate who we are, what we want to fight for, and what we want to say to South Africans. And the issues that we really need to tackle as the whole of South Africa is seen as the one on redress, on the one on what we think about disadvantage and whether race is a proxy or not, and one's around land. And my whole contribution is going to be whatever the policies we choose as the broader membership, not just a few leaders imposing their views, needs to be policies that are going to be fair to South Africans, are going to be credible as actual solutions, and are going to be things that we can start implementing as soon as possible. Because as a young person, I don't want to wait another 25 years for whatever policies are being put out by political parties to work. I think we've run out of time. I have no patience for it anymore. So that's what I'm going to be bringing to the DA, and I'm really going to agitate for us to have policies that South Africans will see, show that we understand the realities that they're living in.
Which leaders are imposing their views in the DA? Is it the head of policy, Gwen Ngwenya, Helen Zille, Khalib Kachale, those who are tweeting frequently?
I think that people are obviously entitled to their opinions, but I think when a leader goes out to say that race is a proxy for disadvantage or is not a proxy for disadvantage, as we have seen some of our leaders do before we've had the discussion as a party, is obviously going to be something that automatically starts pitting us against each other, because then another person is going to say, no, it isn't. And that's what makes us look as though we're confused. There needs to be maturity with people being able to take this to the structures where it needs to be taken, so we can all have consensus on what we believe.
Who said race is not a proxy for disadvantage?
I saw that our leader, John Steenhuisen, had said that a few days ago. And he is very entitled to his opinion, but I do think he needs to be careful, because it comes out as though in the position that he is in, that's automatically what we have decided as a party. And it may be, it may not be. We need to go to the policy conference to iron out those issues.
Is he steering the party in the right direction with Helen Zille?
I don't believe that the current leadership has the vision and is on a trajectory that is going to actually excite South Africans. I think that they are in a mission to stabilize the party and to maintain the status quo. And I'm saying that this is the perfect opportunity for us to actually get people who stayed away from us in the last election back to us, as well as inspire new people to come and join us. And they're not going to do that if we are talking the same language with the same kind of leaders that we have had for a long time.
Then why bring back Helen Zille from the dustbin of history and make her federal chairperson of FedEx?
I think that Helen, like any member, was able to stand. I think it would have been better for our party to choose and show that we had a dearth of leadership and other leaders in the pipeline, but it was a democratic decision. But I do think one of the things as the leader that I must do is show the diversity of the leadership that we have and bring that pool up with me so that it doesn't seem as though there's one or two people that are the only leaders in the party. There's many leaders in the DA, and I think that we need to work on cultivating and showing that.
You say this leadership of the DA is directionless and is basically trying to maintain the status quo and stabilize instead of growing. If you lose as federal leader of the DA, why stay in a party where you don't believe the leadership of the party is steering the organization in the right direction? Will you leave?
Well, I don't think they're directionless. I think that they have direction. I just don't think it's the right direction. If I lose, that would have been a democratic decision by the members of the Congress. And I've been in this party for too long to give up on the project. I'm 31 years old, and I believe that I'll still be able to make a contribution to the party, and I'll still be able to make contributions to how the party can do things. And I think that once we've all had a decision and a role to play in the policy conference, we'll at least all know where we stand. And that's something that we can really take forward and out in the party. I think that I'm still deeply committed to the values of the DA in terms of trying to save South Africa, and there's a lot of incredibly good people in the Democratic Alliance like myself who are working on the ground. And so a party is not just about its leadership, and that's what I'm trying to show. You can have leaders who may not always do the right things, but it doesn't mean that you throw a tantrum and just leave.
It looks as if you are being backed by people who, some of them, who have had a fallout with the current DA leadership and who don't believe that they can steer the DA in the right direction. That would be the former parliamentary leader of the DA, Lindiwe Masibuga, just soon a tweet saying she's inspired by your leadership. Is this not going to put you in a collision cause with Helen Zille?
Well, Lindiwe and I are friends outside of politics, so I think she means it as a friend. I don't think that it's because she's interested in the politics of the DA per se. But I've actually been really encouraged by the diverse amount of people in the party who have come to me, who have sent me SMSs, who have called me and said that they believe in what I'm saying and they want to help the campaign. And those have been all types of different people. I'm also very encouraged by what I've seen on social media with a lot of people that I don't know that think that the time is now for a new direction for the DA. And I really am hoping that they're going to stay the course with me over the next few months and we can take this to the finish line.
We've really run out of time. I'm just going to ask one last question to you. This has put Zwakele Mngcoyo in a difficult position, having to choose between two of his members in KwaZulu-Natal, John Steenhuisen or yourself. Where does this leave the province?
I think it leaves the province fine. He's one vote. He doesn't control what the entire province thinks, and I think that he will vote depending on who convinces them in the best direction that they will take the party.
Thank you very much, Mbali Ntuli. That was Mbali Ntuli, who's gunning to take over as the leader of the Democratic Alliance after that position was left vacant after the resignation of Musimayamani. John Steenhuisen was elected in the interim, which is currently in that position. And he's also running to retain that position and become permanent as in not being the interim leader of the DA. Mbali Ntuli saying that she doesn't believe the current leadership of the DA is heading in the right direction. They're heading in the wrong direction, in her words, and saying that John Steenhuisen must not say that disadvantage cannot be the issues used to address issues of redress in the country when it comes to racial matters, saying she disagrees and John mustn't speak as if it's fact and it's a decision of the party when it's not.
Thank you for that perfect summation, Samkele. My colleague there, Samkele Maseko.